Sir, I was trying to say that the resolution, as my friend has referred to three aspects consequent on the various polling. The resolution seeks to condemn certain statements made by the leading members of the government, and the statements are attributed to as though encroaching upon the jurisdiction of the Election Commission. As the mover of the resolution put it, the independence of the Election Commission. That is the second aspect. And the third aspect is a suggestion flowing from the erosion, as he calls it, or the independence of the Election Commission, so that a parliamentary committee could be set up to review the election laws and suggest appropriate reforms. The issue of electoral reforms has also been discussed at length, and many a speaker has generally spoken about the electoral reforms. While I will make my submissions with reference to the electoral reforms in journal, with reference to some of the speakers who have adverted to the various aspects of the reforms, I feel it duty bound to also meet some of the points which have been raised by the honorable members here, particularly with reference to the Election Commission and also about certain irregularities which they have brought to the notice of this House that had taken place in the repoll at several places. Sir, the mover of the resolution, while highlighting the aspect of the independence of the Election Commission, has chosen to speak on a broader aspect and painted a picture on the wider canvas as to the erosion of all the parliamentary democratic institutions in this country. I would not like to become emotional as he did, but I would certainly advert to the aspects on which I feel that he was very much uncharitable. Sir, what was stated was that the cabinet system of the government was sought to be stifled. The institution of judiciary was sought to be tempered and cramped. And it was also said that the entire parliamentary system was sought to be totally neglected by us. And in the ultimate analysis, he proceeded to concentrate on the erosion of the authority of the Chief Election Commissioner. But I never expected from the mover of the resolution, whom I had heard a little, that he would go to the extent of saying that actions that we on this side are seeking to result only to negative parliamentary democracy. Sir, I do not know what he meant by a big phrase of stifling by us the cabinet system of the government. Well, phrases could be coined, but the realities must speak for themselves. I was trying to understand from him as to whether he was going to paraphrase his expression so that I could meet it squarely on the points that he would put forth. I must say, and I will say with a little authority, that it is at my command that in no form did we try at any point of time of stifle the cabinet system of government in this country. And I am on record, sir, in this House itself, when the debate did crop up twice on the basis of the statement of one ex-chief minister and the other chief minister, that I had categorically stated that there was nothing so far as this government was concerned to think in terms of the presidential form of government. Notwithstanding my statement, a person who is a part and parcel of the present government, or a person who is a spokesman of the government apparatus of the day, if the mover of the resolution would still like to do a little bit of idle flying on the basis of some of the statements of persons who do not have their own contribution in the formulation of the policies of the government of India, I cannot help it. I beg to leave the matter there. If he wants to use it, and he has used it by way of a spice in his argument, that is a matter for him to taste it and see how much it tastes. As far as we are concerned, we did not, and I should say that so far as our leader is concerned, at no point of time did he either encourage or speak on this issue at all. If you would like to reach too much, if you would like to believe only in the propaganda, nobody can help you in the matter. You are to express yourself or repeat like a parrot whatever you would. I would not like to answer on what I have already said on this issue. Sir, a very vague expression, an expression which could perhaps attract the attention of some of the intellectuals and also the newspapers, namely the tampering of the judicial independence, was also raised. I am not sure. I would have made a little enquiry which I did not. I must frankly confess that it was merely a propagandist approach. Raise the issue and say whatever you like. Mr. Vice Chairman, the seventh 5-year plan presented to us, I very humbly submit, is not even worth the paper on which it is printed. About the direction, my honorable friend has spoken, and I do not want to repeat the same. A plan which has no direction, a plan which is only meant for status quo, not only status quo, a plan which increases disparity and inequality, a plan which takes the country back economically, cannot be said to be a plan at all. The Planning Commission has expressed some pious hopes and said inflation is the main obstacle. Yes, you have identified it. But unfortunately, if I may make a little digression, the Planning Commission is a dumping ground for unwanted ministers. A man who is not doing good work has been dumped there. So you can see the seriousness of it. You have identified inflation, but how do you solve it? The Finance Ministry, which is in charge, is taking steps towards increasing inflation. The Industry Ministry, the Agriculture Ministry, they are following policies which will increase inflation. So far, what purpose are you identifying a malady for which you have no remedy? Already the budget of this country is dependent on 75% loans from outside, and we have to go begging to the World Bank and other international monetary institutions. How can you plan when your budget is dependent to that extent on foreign resources? Only the other day we were told that rupees 5,000 crores are coming from the International Monetary Fund with all their conditions to which we have agreed. And these conditions have not been disclosed. All these will lead to further inflation. Then we have an economy of shortages. When you are following a policy of economy of shortages, do you think that inflation can be contained? What does not know what there is economy of shortages? Then there is a black money. After the Supreme Court decision on the black bonds, even the black bonds, there is black market. Yes, there is black market in black bonds. Do you think that with all these phenomena and all these policies and steps you will be able to contain inflation? And if you cannot contain inflation, and if inflation is allowed to go on, then as my friend asked, what is the plan worth for the poor of our country? My friend said that today it is 37%, and I say it will go on increasing. In the industrial sector you have put some targets, but what is your industrial policy resolution of 1985? Your industrial policy resolution provides for automated expansion, regularization of excess capacity and export-oriented economy. Tell me, Mr. Planning Minister, with all these policies you are following, do you think you can achieve your targets? Can anybody plan with these policies of automatic expansion? I would like to have an answer to this from the Planning Minister when he replies to the debate. If there is automatic expansion, where is your target? If there is regularization of excess capacity, what will happen to your target? With an export-oriented economy, how can you plan? That depends on the vagaries of international supply and demand position, and to a certain extent international political situation. How can you forecast these? Now come to agricultural sector. After you have completed the sixth 5-year plan successfully, you are going in for massive import. What will happen to your target in this sector?
In the plan, where is the provision for flood, drought, and other vagaries of nature?